Hello, geometry, and welcome to week 2. We're going to finish up the chapter tomorrow. You're going to have a review for the chapter on Wednesday. You're going to have the test on Thursday. The test will be online. It's going to be multiple choice. You pretty much just look at the test, put the right answer into the multiple choice, and it'll automatically grade it. I'm going to upload it like I normally have been, and you can print it out, you can look at it, but your grade must be in, your answers must be put into Google Classroom, and it'll be graded that way. Today is our friend, the sphere. The sphere. Sphere is essentially a ball. Has the same stuff as a circle, radius, which is from the center to the edge of the sphere. Diameter goes from one end to the other. Chord goes from one end to the other, but the diameter goes through the center. All that fun stuff. Right here is a hemisphere. Hemisphere is half of a sphere. And you can see that that would be your radius. That would be roughly like that would be your diameter. A chord would go across here. A chord would go across here. Chord does go through there because the diameter is in fact a chord. All those are the exact same thing. We also know how the area of a circle is pi r squared. We're going to kind of expand on that a little bit in order to get the surface area and volume of a sphere. Surface area of anything, we really don't go too much into that, into prisms and pyramids and stuff like that. But sphere is that surface area is essentially like how much area is on the outside. The way that I think of that is look at gift wrapping. How much wrapping do you need to cover an entire gift? That's what surface area is. Painting on walls is another thing. How much paint do you need to paint an entire room? That is surface area. So that's what that is. Now, there are two very quick, very easy formulas to deal with surface area and volume of a sphere. We're going to do them right over here. Here's my lamp. Put this down here, turn that, there we go. Surface area. Surface area is 4 pi r squared. Volume is 4/3 pi r to the third. Pi, as you know, is used in everything with circles. So you have, this is the surface area, pi r squared times 4, which really just means that the surface area of a sphere is 4 times as much as the area of the great circle. Now, the great circle, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Or the grand circle, the large, whatever one, the biggest circle. 4/3 pi r to the third is the volume of the sphere. So you find the radius, cube it, like if it's 2, it's 2 times 2 times 2, times pi, times 4/3. Pretty simple stuff, pretty easy stuff. Okay, we talked about the great circle. Now this right here would be considered the great circle. It's really the biggest circle that can be found with a cross section. In other words, it just goes straight through the center of a cross section goes straight through the center of a sphere. That will be the largest sphere, the largest circle of any of them in a sphere. So right now, we're going to do a couple practices, and then I'm going to let you on your own. Pretty easy one. So let me get to the page for this. All right. So if we have let's go right here. Let's say we have a sphere. That's my best sphere that you're going to get. And we're going to have this. That is your radius. We can find the surface area and volume of this sphere. This is 7.5. We'll just say that's 7.5. So what we would use our calculator. Surface area is 4 pi r squared. So we would just do 7.5 squared, which is 56.25, times pi times 4, which is 7, so it's 4 times pi times 7.5 squared. That at this point is really just order of operations, and that would be 706.86. Rounded to 2 decimal points should be plenty. Finding the volume of that same circle, we do the same thing, same circle, but it's 4/3 pi r to the third. So 4/3 pi times 7.5 to the third. So 7.5 to the third gives us, so 4/3 pi times 421.875. All right. That should be 421. Make that look a little clearer. All right, that's better. Times pi times 4/3, you can just type that right in the calculator, will give us, all this together will give us 1767.14 cubic, these are centimeters, these are square centimeters, and these would be cubic centimeters. So that's one way to do that. Sometimes you're given different things and you have to find something other, like you have to find the radius, you have to find the diameter. So let's say that we're given a volume of, I'm just going to pick number 16 out of your book. We're going to say that the volume is 1436.76 cubic meters, and we have to find the radius. Well, we do the same thing, we just work backwards. We know that it's 4/3 pi r to the third. Okay, so what we do is we take this right here, that number. First of all, we multiply that by 3/4. We multiply it by the inverse of 4/3. So 1436.76 equals 4/3 pi r to the third. Okay, so this is really just algebra. Multiplying the whole thing, both sides by 3/4 gets rid of that. So 1436.76 times 0.75 is 1077.57 equals pi r to the third. Then we divide by pi, and we have r to the third equals we're divide by pi, and that equals 343.001, roughly. And then, the way to do this, I don't know if y'all learned this, but I'm going to show you how to do this on a calculator because there's no real, on the calculators we've been using throughout the school year, they don't really have a function to do the cube root. So what you would do is you would bring it up to the power of 1/3. Bring it up to the power of 1/3. So you would type in your calculator 343.001 to the power of 1/3. Parentheses are important for that, so that then it knows that it's the whole thing. So you bring that up to the power of 1/3. Because if you just bring it up to the power of 1, divide by 3 without the parentheses, it'll really just divide it by 3. Because what you're doing is bringing it up to the power of 1 and then dividing that answer by 3. So you want to make sure that your parentheses are there and are important. So it would become about 7.00 meters. So that right there is your brief lesson on surface area and volume of spheres. So today you're going to have your assignment of it. Remember that this week you are going to get a random assignment that will be graded and checked for accuracy. You don't know which one it's going to be. It's going to be a random one. Will not be the same one as your test. It could be any of the others. I'm pretty sure, like I said, your test is going to be on Thursday. It'll be due like Tuesday of next week. Yep, so that's what's happening. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to let me know. Stay safe out there. Stay inside. Hope to see y'all soon. Bye.